Hey everyone, Mr. CA here. This is a guide for round 4 of the 2023 Nations Cup Series taking place at Lago Maggiore within a Group 4 car. In this video, I'll be using the Nissan Silvia touring car as it's pretty much the go-to car for this race. 20 lap race for those in GT1, 10 lap race for those in GT2 and 3, where the fuel and tire multiplier are at ×2. We only have the racing hard tires available to use. You can adjust your brake balance, and there are no mandatory pit stops. So you can kind of get an idea of what the strategy will be for everyone in this race. And we have a 6-minute qualifier instead of the usual 5-minute qualifiers. But anyways, let's go ahead and get started with the lap guide. I have the brake balance at +5 or all the way to the rear of the car. Wind speed and direction do change after each session, so do keep an eye on that as that will affect how the car handles. And for turn number 1, you're gonna brake at around the 100-meter mark. So this board right here, you're gonna brake as much as you can. So full braking power, turning in after the 50-meter board. You can take advantage of the curbs as the track limits at Lago Maggiore are extremely lax. Then brake before the white area on the right ends, going down to first gear for more rotation, but exit on second gear and be careful getting on the throttle to prevent getting any sort of wheel spin. Little left off the throttle as you go through turn number 3. Before turn number 4, you're gonna brake before you start to pass the black billboards that are on the left. Gonna go down to second gear for more rotation, but exit on third gear and just be nice and patient getting on the throttle as you want to make sure that you don't get any sort of wheel spin coming out of the turns. But for turn number 5, gonna brake before the gray curb on the left ends. Gonna brake hard for a short moment, but then this is where you want to do a lot of trail braking as you're turning in. Gonna go for a late apex, going down to third gear and just be nice and careful getting on the throttle so you don't get any sort of wheel spin. Gonna brake just as the curb on the right starts, so full braking power. Very short moment here as you want to get back on the throttle as soon as you can, really taking advantage of those red and white curves as the track limits here at Lago Maggiore are extremely lax. Little courtesy left through here just to make sure that you don't understeer onto the grass, as this car can get pretty understeery. Go ahead and go towards the left side of the track, and you're gonna look for the digital flag that is on the left. So just before the 50-meter board, that's where you're going to start to brake. Brake as much as you can, going into second gear for more rotation, but exit on third gear. Get back on the throttle as soon as you can. Try not to touch the gravel on the left. For this left and right turn, you can easily take a flat out. Just try to go through these turns as smoothly as possible. Revving out the heck out of this car. Bring yourself towards the left. Gonna brake well before the 50-meter board. Full braking power for a short moment, and you want to start to ease off the brakes as you're turning in. So doing quite a bit of trail braking, trying to maintain as much momentum as you can. Then gonna look for the end of the curb that is on the left, so right here. So once you reach the end of that curb, that's where you want to do a little more trail braking, and then get back on the throttle as soon as you can. Just trying to carry that as much speed as possible. Then bring yourself towards the right. Gonna brake well before the 50-meter board. So you're gonna try to take advantage of the runaway curves that are on the inside of the turn, and you'll see me do that just now. That is still part of the track limit, so you can take advantage of that. Try to carry as much speed as you can through the final turn, and that is it for the lap guide. Now let's go on over to the race strategies, and yeah, there's not much strategy to talk about because the fuel and tire wear are ×2. We're only on the racing hard tires, so this is a pretty straightforward zero-stop race for all 3 GT leagues. I also have the brake balance at +5 or all the way to the back of the car because this thing just does not like to turn. But anyways, the Nissan Silvia is dominating the time trial leaderboard, so this is going to be the car to use for the race. And there's a good chance that a lot of people or even everyone in your lobby is going to be in this car, so it's not going to be the easiest to get a pass done. You're kind of going to have to wait for someone to really screw up before you try to go for the move, or if you somehow get the best exit ever, then you might want to try to go for the move. But you do want to be careful about it, because if you're going to go for a move, you want to make it fast, you want to make it clean, and just make sure that you don't lose too much time fighting out with other cars. You actually might want to work with those around you to try to keep up with those in front of you, and hopefully try to break away from those behind you, because the moment that y'all start to fight it out, you're going to be losing a lot of time, and it's going to be even more difficult to catch up to the group of cars that just broke away from you. So yeah, you want to be careful about when you want to go for a move. You want to make sure, again, if you're going to go for a move, make it fast, make it clean, don't fight it out too much. And well, that's pretty much the whole gist of the race. So I'm going to go ahead and skip over towards the end of lap 10 in this replay. So this is the end of the race for those in the GT2 and 3 leagues. Fuel's not an issue at all. Tires are looking pretty good right now. Brake balance is top +5 or all the way to the back of the car. So yeah, really easy zero stop race for those in GT2 and 3 leagues, where the total time for this race is going to be 20 minutes and 59 seconds, almost 21 minutes. So just over a 20-minute race for those in GT2 and 3 leagues. And for those in the GT1 league, you're going to keep driving around for another 10 laps. So this is going to be a 40-minute race. And hopefully the race doesn't get too boring, because at least for me, it got a little boring to the point where I kind of started getting distracted and started losing a lot of time. Try your best to not get distracted. Try to stay focused throughout the entire race so you don't start to lose too much time from silly little mistakes. And your tires will have a bit of tire wear. More specifically, the front tires will have quite a bit of tire wear, but you should still be good to go. You shouldn't have to worry about going for a tire change. Fuel, it'll be a little bit close depending on how much you're revving out the car, but you still shouldn't have to worry about having to do any sort of fuel saving or pitting for fuel. So for those in GT1, you should be good when it comes to tire wears and fuel for the Nissan Silvia. I'll still say to just keep an eye on the fuel, keep an eye on the tire wear every now and then, as that'll help you build a good habit for keeping an eye on those things in races where those are actually an issue. I mean, I know it's not an issue here in this race, but you know, it's good to build a habit like that. So we're just gonna go through the S's again. Not much going on. I don't remember when I was recording this, but yeah, I was getting pretty bored. I was getting 205s in the first half of the race, and then just started poking into the 206s because I was starting to get pretty distracted. Again, try to stay focused the entire race if possible, because at least for me, it started to feel pretty easy to get distracted, and then before you know it, you lost 0.3 of a second out of nowhere. Yeah, and that will really start to add up if you're not careful about that. It's going to keep going until the end of the race. I can give you the total time because, again, over 40 minutes. Actually, you can see on the bottom right hand corner of the screen, over 41 minutes of racing going on for those in the GT1 league. So it's going to be a bit of a long race. Unfortunately, no real strategy for this race. I mean, don't crash. That's a good strategy, right? But here we go. Going through the final corner. The total time for this race is going to be a long 41 minutes and 59 seconds. So, bit of a long race this one, so plan your moves carefully and just try to work with others around you so you can stay with those in front of you and hopefully break away from those behind you. And yeah, zero stop race for all three GT leagues. But before I go, I do need to announce that for this coming Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, I'm not going to be around, so I'm not going to be able to make the Group 1 at Interlagos Nations Cup guide. And yeah, I'm not going to be around. I think I'll barely have time to make the guide for whatever the next lap time challenge is, but after that, I'm going to be gone. So just want to let y'all know that in case someone asks where I'm at, just tell them I'm away. So yeah, that's it for me. So good luck in your race, and this is Mr. MCA, and I'll see you in the next video.